Hey, what's going on? This is Ricardo with the Code 7 Podcast Network, and we're about to get started with Open Mic Live on a Saturday late night open mic. But first, as always, a word from our sponsors.
At InDigital, we know that public safety professionals hold themselves to a high standard. In fact, standard doesn't do it justice. In over 25 years working alongside you, carrying millions of calls over our IP networks, your dedication has inspired us. That's why our ESINet goes beyond industry standards, not only I3 compliant, but designed to adapt to future development for a network you can count on when it matters most. Learn more at indigital.net.
Here in Greenville County, we have 8 different places where a 911 call can be answered.
It is the largest county in South Carolina. It's a challenge.
The type of information that a telecommunicator gets from Radius Plus is location-based technology. You can see where the caller is, if they have a medical issue, if they speak a different language. They're immediately able to text to that caller in their native language. It reduces response times because it immediately gets first responders where they need to be.
If Within the Trenches has ever taught you something, open your eyes to what it is like to be a 911 dispatcher, or has inspired you to become one, then help support us and join our Patreon. Get exclusive bonus content, one-of-a-kind swag, discounts on merchandise, ad-free early access to new episodes, and much more. To join, please visit patreon.com/WTT podcast. And if you're an industry partner, we have something for you as well. And now, for the show.
This is Jordan, and you're listening to the Code 7 Podcast Network.
Warning. This episode contains the 3 A's of podcasting: adult content, adult language, and awesomeness. You've been warned.
Dispatch.
There is no one over here to cook our lunch. We are waiting for our lunch, and there's no one here to cook our lunch.
All right, calm down. Where are you at?
The group home. Now, what are you going to do?
We'll get some help over there for you, okay?
Welcome to Open Mic, where we visit the lighter side of dispatch, because laughing is good medicine. Oh shit, we're back. Oh man. It has been a week, but it has been an amazing week. And I am now back fresh from Texas, from the Mayan Ranch, out there doing presentation, meeting with folks, and just a lot of bonding, a lot of good stuff that's going on there. And we'll get to that here in a moment, but I want to thank you for being here with me for a late night Saturday night Open Mic Live. Usually we do these on Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern time, all over social media, but we're doing it on Saturday today because I was out of town last week, or just this past week, and we're about to jump in. So as always, roll call, where are you watching from, and also checking in with each other. How are you feeling? How are you doing? On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being shitty, of course, 10 being awesome. How are you feeling? Let's hear it. I want to see how you're feeling. And also, please share this broadcast to your feed, to your page, or to your favorite dispatch page, whichever. Throw it out there, throw out some reactions and everything. And if you have any funny 911 stories that you want to share, please throw that in the comments, and I will read the stories. And if this is your first time here for Open Mic Live, please let me know as well. I love to know when there are new folks here. This live broadcast is sponsored by InDigital Rapid Deploy, as well as Carbine, and a big shout out to patrons, as always, for everything. I appreciate it so very much, as well as all of you who are watching, listening, supporting, sharing, all of the above. So thank you so very much. Recently posted episode 432, and that was with Valerie, and that was an excellent episode. Make sure to check that one out. And then I've got episode 433 that I'm actually going to be recording this coming Monday. It'll go out to patrons the same day, and then 2 days later it'll go out to everyone else. This is going to be with Juliet. She is the first recipient of the Firework Scholarship, and that's coming out of 9 Wonder Women Inc. And she had the opportunity to head out to the Mayan Ranch, and this is a training that Joe Serio 360 Degree Dispatcher puts on, and it was superb. It was really good. It was a unique experience for her as well. And Joe, I see you here in the comments, man. Thank you. It was excellent. For those who haven't heard about it or don't know much about it, make sure to follow what Joe is doing. And he's got a couple more that are going to be coming up. I think there's another one in September. I'm not sure if that one is full yet, but if you follow Joe Serio and everything that he's doing, you will be able to find out a lot more, and all the other ones that are coming up soon. So I highly recommend it. It was an excellent time, and I hope I get to go back, because it was really good. So again, that's episode 433 that's going to be coming out, and just talking to her, it was a good time for her as well. She had an amazing experience. We also did Imagine Listening there. It was the closing session, and man, very powerful. It was really good. And Joe, if you're still here in the comments, Joe gave me some shit too for making him cry. So my bad. He's like, if I knew he was going to get me all emotional and shit, I would have canceled him out and not had him do it. Which I thought was awesome. But we also had a lot of fun, a lot of good laughs, and the dude is an amazing musician and stuff. So again, thank you, Joe. I appreciate it for everything and for the invite and the opportunity. It was excellent. Joe says here also, after last week, feeling around a 12. Yeah, good. Zach here, feeling around a 5 to 6. Last couple of days been a struggle. Well, hopefully, with some of the stuff I'm going to be sharing here, I have a story that was actually shared during open mic yesterday that I want to read because it's hilarious. and I want to see what you all think about it as well. So also, I've got some dumb criminal stories that I want to go over too. That are pretty funny. And but before we get to that, I want to put here on the screen. I want to share this here, and bam. So coming up here very quickly, I believe it's April 3rd through the 6th, or maybe April 2nd through the 6th, one of the two. We've got the Texas Public Safety Conference that's coming up in Galveston, and I'm very excited for this. I'm going to be in booth 126, and my homie, Sarah Weston, who is the executive director and founder of 9 Wonder Women Inc., we're going to be in that booth doing our thing, and we have got 3 giveaways. As you can see here on the screen, these are lights that Mike Aurora out of Texas with Aurora Design created, and they look sexy as fuck. Look at that. So we're going to be giving those away. I'm going to be recording episodes there, and it's going to be a good time. Also on Monday, which I believe is April 4th. So it'll be 3rd through the 6th. That's right. So because it's Sunday through like Wednesday or something like that. Monday, April 4th, at 3:30 p.m. To 4:30 p.m. I'm going to be doing Imagine Listening, and make sure to head out to that session. It's going to be excellent, and I look forward to seeing all of you there. The both of us look forward to seeing you all there, and it's going to be a good time. I've been to the conference before, and I am excited to go back. So again, thank you so very much to Mike Aurora of Aurora Design for putting these together, and they look amazing. So thanks, man. I appreciate it. So those who are going to be there, just come up to the booth, and we'll have a way for you to register for these 3 giveaways here, and we're going to have a good time. So I look forward to seeing all of you out there. So again, that is going to be at the Texas Public Safety Conference out in Galveston, booth 126. Before I get into some of these stories here, I got home actually today. So if you're watching and we were together this past week, I left yesterday, but I got home this afternoon. Because by the time when I boarded my plane in Atlanta, GA, it was like after 10 o'clock, man. So when I arrived in Detroit, and by the time I got my bag, I think it was just after 1 in the morning, and I was already kind of in a daze, and I thought, "Yeah, driving from Detroit back to Fort Wayne, Indiana is probably not good. I don't wanna be in the side of the road, or in a ditch or some other bullshit like that." Basically, I didn't wanna end up in the news somehow. So so luckily, we all have smartphones and apps and shit. So I ended up just getting a hotel in Detroit. So that was good. But let me tell you, as you know, whenever I travel, something crazy happens, or at least something funny. And while I was getting ready, while I was getting ready to leave, like right before, you always got to use the restroom, especially if you don't like going to the restroom on the airplane. So I went to go use the restroom, and this is so bad. I'm 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 in a stall, okay? Let's be real. I'm in a stall, and I hear someone rushing into the bathroom, and they start pounding on each stall to see if any of them are open. I'm like, "Dude, you're gonna give me stage fright." And he gets through every single stall, and not one of them is open. They're all occupied. And man, I felt so bad for this dude because all I could hear was like heavy breathing because this person really needed to go to the bathroom. And then I end up hearing, "Oh man, fuck, man. You guys don't understand, okay? You don't understand." I I know I shouldn't laugh, but holy shit, it was it was so funny, man. Like you could feel how stressed out he was. And just the fact that he just kept was like, "Man, you don't understand." All I could see was him standing there, like maybe with his hands on his hips or like this, and being like, "You don't understand, man. You guys just don't understand." Uh, oh man, I am crying already, and it's making my eyes sting and burn. uh, it's so hilarious. Oh, I'm sorry. And men or women, if you've been, when you're traveling or going places and you're in the bathroom, have you ever had something like that happen? Where someone is just like, "Fuck, man." Oh, that's horrible. Watch, some bullshit is gonna happen to me now because I'm laughing. Something's gonna happen. Oh, no, please don't. I don't wanna go through that shit again. Literally, I don't wanna go through anything like that. But I thought it was funny, and I wanted to share it with all of you because this is Open Mic Live, where we share the lighter side of dispatch or, just like funny incidents that happen. This was funny, and I hope it made you laugh too. And if you have a number that's like below a 6, hopefully that story alone made your number go up a little bit. Lavelle, yes, poor guy, for real, man. That dude was almost crying. Seriously. That's all I could see was the person, like, with their hand up here, like, "No, man." Joseph's terrible moment. Been there. Right. Yeah, I think we all have, right? In one point in our lives, we have been in a spot where you're like, "I'm fucking grown. I'm a grown-ass person, but I'm about to lose it." Like, I know I've been there more than once. I have been there. Especially when you're driving, man. When you're driving a long distance and there's no bathrooms, like there's no gas stations, no rest areas. And then it makes it even worse when you see a sign for a rest area and you're like, "Oh, hell yes, it's about time. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna do what I gotta do." And then you get up to that rest area and it's closed. or they're still building it. You're like, hell no, man. What am I going to do? And then at that time, you're like driving like this, like, oh my God, please. And you just start praying. Like you remember every single prayer that you learned growing up. It doesn't matter what prayer it is. Like white knuckling it, like, come on. I speak from experience. Oh, that's so bad. See, Joe says, happened on a plane, just landed and was taxiing. As soon as we came to a stop, I had to plow through the aisle full of people standing to get to the back. That means two things. Oh, man, that description is exactly what was going on in your body. Oh, man. But though, like it, and this happened to me. It was the very first, this was a few years ago now, but it was the very first time that I had ever flown first class. I had enough points saved up, and I was flying. I was still working for InDigital at the time. Excuse me. And I don't remember where I was flying to, but again, it was the first time I was in the window seat, and I had a couple drinks on the plane, and there's like 15 minutes left, right? It's 15 minutes left before we land. And I thought, no, I'll be all right. I can do this. And then we started hitting turbulence, man. We started hitting some turbulence, and then my body is just like, nah, son, this is going to happen. And then we land, and like we hit hard when we landed. So that made it even worse. And as soon as we started taxiing, I got my ass up and I went to the bathroom because I was in the first row, the very first one. So it's like right there. It's just a few steps. I was like, just go really fast. It'll be fine. Nothing is going to happen. And as I'm going to open the door, the flight attendant looks up from her phone, and this is her eyes just like popping out of her head. And she goes, no, sir, you can't. And she started saying some other stuff, and I didn't hear her because I went, oh, no. It's all cool. I'll be fast. So I started doing my thing, and then it registered what she had said. And what she had said was, no, sir, they're going to stop the plane. I was like, hell no. Because the plane started stopping, and I can hear her on the phone talking to the pilot, and she's like, no, he's gonna be okay. and I'm like, come on, body, hurry up, move faster. So then I get out and I turn and look at her, and I'm like, I'm so sorry, because the plane had stopped. And I said, I'm so sorry. And then I turn around to look down the aisle, and everyone's head is peeking out. I was like, fuck, they know it was me. I sat down. And I thought I said this in my head, but apparently it was out loud, because what I said was, I didn't think they were going to stop the plane. And the guy next to me leans in and says, yeah, they don't like when you do that. The only good thing about that, however, is that when we stopped, there was a plane that was taking off. So it almost looked like that was the reason why we stopped. But it was because of my dumbass. And when I got off the plane, I was like, thanks. And they're just staring at me like, you jerk off. Oh, man, it was some funny shit. Funny shit. Something always happens. Oh, wait, let me look back over here in the comments. Joe says it was in Ukraine. They quickly realized what happened and all started chuckling and clearing a path. Well, I mean, that's good, though. That's good. At least it went down that way. It means two things, too. Oh, my God. That's great. So before I get to a couple of more of these stories here, I want to share a couple of pictures and video. So this video that I'm going to play here, there's no, I mean, there's audio, but there's nothing, that's part of it that really you need to hear. But I wanted to share it because there were a couple cool ass things. I mean, there was a lot of cool ass things, but these were some things that really was cool. Joe says they saved my ass quite literally. Yeah, sounds like it, dude. So here it is. I had never seen one of these before this close. Check it out. This is a fucking armadillo, man. That was the coolest thing, man. Like again, I had never seen anything like that. Just right there. That close. Like I was sitting on a bench and it just ran right by. Like there's all types of animals there that are just chilling and hanging out and running around. And it's one of the coolest things, man. It was such a good experience, and to be able to have that there as well. And one of the other things that happened while I was there, and I wasn't sure if I was going to share this, but I'm going to go ahead and share it because it was a really cool moment. Where I was staying in one of like the cottages that we had there. I was up on a balcony, so I was sitting there and I was working on a secret project, and as I was typing, I heard like this like come up really fast, and I thought, "Oh my god, that is a huge bumblebee or something." But when I looked up, right in front of me was a hummingbird and was there for like 30 seconds. And I'm just staring at it and it's like looking at me, and then it took off. And I thought, what a badass moment. It was something I'll never forget. Just like this that I have here, that I'm so glad that I was able to capture it. So here's this here. This was one of the mornings, and this is from that balcony. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So awesome. Again, thank you, Joe, for the opportunity. And one last picture here, because this is kind of funny, and I want to make sure to show this. But there are peacocks all over the place, too. So this one right here was right by like this stone picnic table and benches there, and I'm sitting there and I was doing some social media stuff for the podcast, and then I hear something right next to me, and I thought, oh man, whoever walked up is like really close, but they're also loud. So when I picked up my head, that motherfucker was right there. and and I just sat there for a moment, and I was like, okay, just be cool, don't piss it off, don't scare it, or you're probably dead. Maybe not dead, but chased, pecked at. I don't know. But I'm sitting there and it's just chilling. I was like, okay, hi, uh, guy. and and then I got up slowly and then stepped back, and it was still there. And then it started making all kinds of noises, and then it jumped up onto all the other branches there, and I was like, all right, that was pretty close. But it was still cool. It was a cool moment. So I just wanted to share that here, because there was a lot of cool things that happened while I was out there. So again, thank you so very much. Um, and let me see. Oops. Looking at my notes here, I got to take one of these things out. Okay, so let's get to some of these stories. Again, for those who are here and watching, thank you so much for being here. Again, I know I usually do these on Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern time, but because I was out of town, we do them on Saturdays, and we do them around 10 o'clock, sometimes 11, which is, a little bit later, but there's always a lot of people on, so that's awesome too. Also, for the Imagine Listening session that I did yesterday with everyone, there was audio that was recorded. So as soon as I get that's going to be 2 episodes of the podcast. And some of those stories I'm going to share on an open mic live probably next week. But one of those for sure I have, because I ended up asking for it because I wanted to get it so I could share it tonight, because it's a story that is like, what? So I'm going to share this story with you, okay? And for those who are here watching right now, well, and even in, if you're watching it in replay, you can comment on what you think. But I want to go ahead and read this. And I want to know if, Lavelle says, I'm listening as I drive to my extra job. All right. Awesome. Well, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Oh, damn. Actually, there was one last thing that I wanted to mention before I get to the story. I apologize. So when I got back today, there was a package on my chair here in my control room. And this is what was there. Oop. There you go. Look at that. That is a sexy ass patch. And as you can see, I already put it on a hat so that you could see what it looks like. And man, does it look great. Ooh-wee. So just so you know, these Daughters of Dispatch, because ladies first, right? They're the ones that I got first, but I will definitely be getting some Sons of Dispatch as well. They are on order, and I'm looking at getting some IM 911 patches to put on the back of some of them when they arrive. So look out for those. They're going to be hitting the store here pretty soon, and I am super excited. I wanted to share this, but also do one of these hats before, so that I could wear it for the live so that you could see it. And it came out really, really good. So thank you all for being here to see it. All right. So here's the story. And I want you to let me know if this is something you've ever dealt with before. I mean, maybe this is a common thing. I don't know. So let me go ahead and read this. And again, this story will be shared once I get the audio from the other stuff as well. But I just wanted to have it so I could read it tonight. So it goes like this. A lady called to report her placenta stolen. You heard me right. Placenta. A lady called to report her placenta stolen that she brought home from the hospital. She said her ex came over to see the baby for the first time, and she didn't want him to have anything to do with the baby. So when he left, he took the placenta that she had in a bag in her truck. Now, I want to stop right there, actually, before I get to the other part, because I have questions. One of the details that I don't have is how long was that placenta in the doggy bag? I know. I know people bring the placenta home. Sometimes they have them made into like, pills. And I forget the reason. Now for the pills and everything else. I think it actually helps with postpartum depression. I think that's what it is. But don't quote me on that. Do not quote me on that. I just think that's what it is. When it, like for pill form and all that other stuff. If not, whatever. Google it. You can look it up. But because I'm not a doctor, man. Obviously, I'm just some dumbass who's on here having fun with all of you and and doing all this stuff. But if I remember correctly, that's what some people have it for. Anyway, yeah. So that's one of the questions. How long was it in the truck? I mean, if it was in the truck for a long time, even a few hours, wherever this happened, it's probably hot, man. So like when you open the door, I can only imagine the smell isn't that great. I mean, it smelled like old Thanksgiving ham or Christmas ham, I mean. I don't know. I'm not sure. And so Shannon says here, bago placenta. And she says, hi, yes, my placenta has been stolen. So so when the guy leaves, he takes the placenta that she had in a bag in her truck, and he took it with him so he could have a DNA test done on it to prove that he was the father. And so she called because she was upset because she didn't want a DNA test done. So she wanted to report it stolen. I feel like there's which is kind of hard because Maury, Maury Povich, he's retired. I think his last episode is like September or something, but I think they've all been recorded. And because he does all those, you are the father, or you are not the father. And this is just something else. Like I personally have never taken a 911 call that had to do with a stolen placenta. So that's why I wanted to read it as well. Oh my God. All I can think of are those I'm not even going to say the name of the company, but they sell like frozen vegetables in baggies, and you can put them in water to boil, and then you've got like freshly steamed vegetables. So Shannon, you putting in there steamy placenta, that's what that makes me think of. Oh no, I can't imagine, like, for the person who took the call, like I can't imagine taking the call and everything, but then, of course, also typing it in. And I mean, you have to, because I know I would, you have to put exactly what the caller is saying in the CAD call, right? And my excuse was always, well, if this goes to court, I mean, they would want to know exactly what they're saying, right? That's why it's in there. So for this, can you imagine being the radio operator, the radio dispatcher? I can just imagine. So me being on radios, because I never played on the radios. Um, I would probably be on radios because the way our setup was, and maybe all of you, yours is the same. So as I'm explaining this, maybe you can, let me know in the comments as well. So, the way all of our computers were connected, and so like phones is here, and then main radios is over here, and if we wanted to, we could just look up and say something over as to whatever it is that was going on. But you're the person's the call taker's taking the call, right, and they're typing it in. And the way our system was as soon as the complaint is in, we can open it up and watch the narrative in real time. But for me, I wouldn't always read the complaint. And sometimes I would see those popping up, and it would make me like nervous. I would think, "Oh, I don't want people to think I'm not doing my job." So I would want to put the complaints out as fast as possible, if only if there was someone available. And I know, the job is not to put or get all of them taken care of like that, like just like that. But that's how I would feel sometimes, And so for me, I probably wouldn't read it. I would just open it up and just be like, Central Baker 10, go ahead. Be en route to such and such address, be en route to, or it'd be in reference to larceny, caller advised that her baby's daddy showed up and stole her on key. Look at it again and key up. Stole her placenta that was in a bag in her vehicle. And maybe I wouldn't unkey, because I've done that before where I don't read it and I'm just keyed up and I start reading and then I get to the part where I should have read it first. And of course, depending on the type of call, because if it's a serious call, of course, you're not going to be laughing. But something like this, like, you almost can't help but like kind of chuckle a little bit, because it's not what you were expecting, because your own dumbass didn't read it. So I would probably be keyed up and be en route to such and such address. Caller advised baby's daddy showed up and stole her placenta. That's correct. It's a stolen larceny of a placenta from a bag. Unkey, and then just wait, and it would just be silence. Because the officer that I gave it to, Baker 10, was probably like, is this real? What would happen? The deputy, because I worked for the county, the deputy would end up saying, Central, can you go to secondary for further? 10-4, go ahead in secondary. and then of course we would yell to the call taker, as long as they're off the call, and be like, hey, yo, you need to hop on secondary because Baker 10 wants to talk to you. And then Baker 10 Central, did I hear you correctly? Did you say larceny of placenta? Like, out of like a placenta, not polenta. Oh man. James, yeah, the results show you are not the daddy. Oh, that's crazy shit. So for those who are watching, have you ever dealt with something like that before? Or what are some of the weird things, as we're going through this? Because there's some other stories, like dumb criminal stories, that I want to get to. But what are some of the more weird calls? Something like this. What are some of the more weird ones that you've had? Because this is what? Like a stolen placenta. Lavelle says, would that be actually burglary since it entered the... Yeah, probably. Yeah, it'd probably be burglary because of the vehicle and stuff. See, James says, any distinguishing features or marks? How do you enter that into the national system? Dude, you're right. You're right. Like, oh, that one would just be man, I've been out of dispatch for 9 years now, almost 9 years. So I can't think of how you would code that, but I know there's the miscellaneous part of it. Would it be that? Would it be under a body part? Because I was pretty sure there was a classification for like parts and stuff, and I remember thinking one time, like, why would that be in there? But Lavelle, I think you're right. Yeah. What a crazy thing, man, to do. All right. So while you're thinking about some of the more odd stuff like this, similar, to put in the notes, I want to read this next one. So I saw this one last week, and I was gonna read it a couple days ago, but I thought, I'll just save Open Mic Live for Saturday, so I can fully take in everything that I was doing over there. So I had this one saved, so I want to read this one to see what you all think as well. Again, this one is... oh, I see someone in here who was laughing too. It's so good. Thank you. So this next one that I'm going to be reading here, I didn't know that this was again, this is in a different state, but of course, as always, it's a Florida man. What is with Florida, man? That means two things. Oh shit, I'm cracking myself up. I need sleep. So this one says Florida man arrested for illegal possession of dairy case. So, like I did a couple weeks ago, I'm going to share the link so that you can see this as well. And you know, the guy, the look on his face, it kind of looks like the lead singer to The Offspring. But he looks like, the look on his face is like, yeah, I did it, and I'll do it again. So let me read this to you. And it says, several states have some strange, at times, outdated laws. A Florida man allegedly ran afoul of a very specific law recently, according to Boca News Now. So it says on March 8th, around 2 a.m. in the morning, Boca Raton, and it's Raton, not Raton. I learned that one early on when I was doing the podcast. I was out there recording episodes during an academy that was going on. And I asked the person who had invited me over there, his first name's Tom, and I said, so is it Raton or what is it? And he's like, no, don't ever say that again. It's Raton, not Raton. I was like, all right, man. Well, I just wanted to make sure so that whenever I say it, I know I'm saying it right. So Boca Raton police reportedly stopped a 37-year-old in the area of Camino Gardens Boulevard and Cypress Way because they noticed he didn't have a red reflector or light on the back of his bicycle. Okay. The responding officer spotted a National Dairy case on the back of his bike, the kind of item a milkman may use to deliver dairy products to homes. So in quotes here, it says, the black case generally used for dairy delivery was marked National Dairy on one side and also marked with warning, use of other than registered owner is punishable by law. What? Excuse me. And this is what the officer wrote in their report. And then it says, on top of that, the officer claims he found methamphetamines inside a pouch tucked in the case. The suspect was allegedly holding a bottle containing the drugs. All I can see, and I don't know if you can see this as well, but all I can see in my head, and especially if you clicked on the link and you see the person's face there, I picture the person on the bike, like standing next to the bike rather, and holding like a bottle of dairy, and the drugs are in the side, and he's just talking. He's like, oh man, I was just driving. I had this dairy that, this milk that I was bringing back home that I picked up from the place. That's it. And as he's moving it around and the officer's got the flashlight, he can see the stuff inside. And he's like, so what do you got in there? Some crystal blue persuasion? Some Heisenberg special? So one of the bottles, again, was containing the drugs. And so this person was charged with methamphetamine possession and illegal possession of a dairy case. So for you who are watching, are there some old laws like this that you still uphold? Because what is it? There's I don't remember what state it is, but I think it's an old law that says that you can't like harpoon a whale from a car or something like that, like while driving by, and you can look it up. Don't quote me on that. But I remember seeing something online once about old laws, and it was talking about something like that. But also like the small town that I grew up in, through City Hall, one of the old laws that they had there was if you caught rats, you could take them to City Hall and they would give you like 15 cents for each one of them. And as far as I knew, they upheld it. Like they still did it up until the point But this here, again, this is another old, like, odd, strange law that's in Florida. So again, the person was charged with methamphetamine possession and illegal possession of a dairy case. What the shit? Reporters say he also got a written violation for riding his bike without a red light or reflector. So, what's the moral of the story here? Make sure you have your red light or reflector on your bike. Especially if you're traveling with a illegal possession of a dairy case, let alone meth. What the hell, man? Oh, geez. Let's see. Excuse me. Shannon says here in Bexley, Ohio, it is illegal to have a slot machine in your outhouse. What? Are you for real? I'm going to put that on the screen. Illegal to have a slot machine in your outhouse. I mean, if you're in an outhouse, you're not going to have any electricity or anything anyway. How are you going to get it to work? What if it's just sitting in there and it doesn't work? What if it's a piggy bank? What if it actually holds your toilet paper? Yeah. What about that? What if it's a toilet paper holder and you're like, click, 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 click. Jackpot, you get more toilet paper now. Oh my God. That is funny right there. Never heard that before. Shannon says, you are just a rebel. For real though, man. Like, what if that's what it is? What if it was just for toilet paper? I mean, it'd be like, that's a cool dispenser and shit. And then, one day you have people over and some dickhead friend of yours, or thought was a friend of yours, betrays you and calls the cops and is like, there's this guy that I know. He has an outhouse. I don't know why, because he has, plumbing. But inside that outhouse is a slot machine. And then one night you're drinking. You're like, gotta go hit the head. And you go out there to the outhouse and you open the door. There's an officer there like, like, put your hands up. You got a slot machine in your outhouse. And the dude's like, oh, man. Oh, that's funny. That's funny shit. That's how it would happen. It would be some dickhead friend of yours that you thought was your friend and decided to just be an asshole, and you can't trust him anymore. Oh, that's funny. James says, blue laws. No alcohol on the island of Ocean City in New Jersey. What? And Tim says in Joliet, Illinois, it's illegal to say Joliet or Joliet. Jolly? Instead of... For real? Here I am screwing it up and everything. I'm glad I'm not there because I'd be breaking the law. Breaking the law. Oh, man. Be like, don't tase me, bro. I said it wrong. I'm sorry. Oh, shit. Oh, that is funny. Okay. I've got a couple others here. This one has a video, but I didn't realize it had a video, so I didn't bring it down, but you can imagine it as I go through it. But it says California Highway Patrol chased a stolen party bus across Southern California Tuesday before it slammed into a sedan north of Los Angeles. How crazy is that? People just decided to steal a party bus? Hold on a minute. Let me go through this here to make sure nobody was injured as I'm talking about this. But it was a 40-foot vehicle that was stolen. And let's see. So the owner told the news that the 40-foot vehicle was stolen in San Diego Tuesday morning when a person jumped in while the driver was doing a pickup. She says local officers searched for it until around 90 minutes later when she received a call from somebody on the 405 freeway who complained that somebody in one of the company's vehicles was driving crazy on the freeway and doing 90 miles per hour. I explained to him that that it was stolen, or that it was a stolen bus, and he stayed on the phone until we called dispatch and got somebody out there. Jeez. Excuse me. It says police say the driver continued speeding during a pursuit on freeways through Los Angeles, the San Fernando Valley, and Santa Clarita before they exited the freeway in Palmdale. Dang. So there was no, it looks like there's no injuries, but the vehicle was heavily damaged. Patrol units surrounded the bus, and a woman exited the vehicle and was taken into custody at gunpoint. Dude, what the hell? Stolen party bus? Heck yeah, that's my type of party. Who's with me? Well, can you imagine though? Hold on, because this was during a pickup. So can you imagine if, they're doing the pickup and the driver is like, I'll be right there. I just got to take this call here really quick. Everyone is in the bus like, yeah, I was going to have a good time. And then somebody just jumps right in out of nowhere and takes off. And everyone like flies back because they're not expecting to haul ass. And they're thinking, what is going on? Like, did we just enter speed here? Like, pop quiz, hotshot. Someone has just stolen your party bus going 90 miles per hour on the 405 freeway. What do you do? What do you do? Dude, that'd be some scary shit. It would make for a funny story later, after everything, but sheesh. Nope. Let's see here. So there's a couple more here that I want to read really quick. We're winding down. We're getting to the end of this open mic, which thank you so much for being here and commenting and stuff. This has been a lot of fun. It's always fun to be here with all of you. But this one, I don't remember if I read this one or not, but if any of you have dealt with one of these as well, please let me know. So it says here that an Ohio woman claims that she awoke to find a burglar napping in her house after he had broken in overnight. I mean, we can just stop right there for a moment. Like, what is in your mind? One, of course, you're breaking into a house. What the fuck? But two, you're just going to take a nap? Like, I mean, I'm guessing this person was either drunk or, on some sort of drug or something like that. But can you imagine, like, you break into the house, dude probably like made a sandwich and was like, oh man, the food is just sitting heavy. I'm just going to lay here for a moment. Like, I think everyone's asleep. I'm just going to lay here for a moment. My bologna sandwich is just kind of getting to me, and you pass out. I'm just quarterbacking this. I'm just imagining, this happening, this going down like this. Because I don't know, what else would the person be doing? What else would be the reason, I guess? But it says here, he was asleep at the steal. An Ohio woman reportedly woke up to discover a burglar napping in her guest bedroom after he had broken in overnight. Taking a swim and what? Wait a minute. See, I don't read these. So we're experiencing this together in real time. Napping in her guest room after he had broken in overnight, taken a swim in her outdoor pool, and even eaten the family's leftover chicken. What an asshole. He's like the Grinch stealing the roast beast. But it's not Christmas. Man, what a dick. He took the leftovers. Shit ain't cheap, man. So he just helped himself to everything in her house. The lady said, she told the Associated Press of the bizarre break-in, which occurred at her family home in Canton on Monday morning. The owner of the house, who lives with her husband, son, and brother-in-law, said she saw that a light was on in the spare room where she then found the not so smooth criminal snoozing. I shit you not. That's exactly what it says here. she saw that she saw that a light was on in the spare room, where she then found the not so smooth criminal snoozing. Come on, New York Post. So this was this past September when this happened as well. So this is an old one, but I'm gonna put the link in here so that you can check it out, because this shit's kind of funny the way they wrote it. It goes on to say, the quick-thinking gal, whose husband had already left for work before the invasion, woke up her brother-in-law, who chased the intruder out of the home. Unfortunately, that was only the tip of the iceberg. What? The distraught women subsequently discovered that the door to the backyard was open and that the man's sopping wet trousers were laying by the pool, indicating that he'd taken a swim, the AP reported. She added that the hungry criminal had also apparently finished off the leftovers of the previous night's chicken dinner and even lit a candle in the bathroom, as if their home was an Airbnb. What? Before leaving, the creepy nabber, who's writing this, even swiped a pair of her son's underwear. It remains unclear how the man entered the home, although the lady's husband had spied the guy walking in the street shirtless before he left for work at 4 a.m. He reportedly waited until the wackadoo. This is the New York Post. This is, and maybe it's supposed to be like this. They're writing it like this on purpose. But anyway, he reportedly waited until the wackadoo passed by before driving off. When I left here, my family was sound asleep. My family was safe, he said. Thankfully, the sleepy chicken snatcher was arrested by police, who suspected that he was intoxicated and brought him to a hospital for an examination. The man has since been slapped with a burglary charge and issued a court summons. Nonetheless, Stedman, who's the lady that they were talking about, this is her last name, remains rattled by the fact that a prowler was able to infiltrate the home they'd been living in for more than a decade. Dude, I would be freaked out too. It says this isn't the first time a criminal has treated someone's house like a Holiday Inn. In 2015, police in Sarasota, Florida man, again, reported arresting a man who had broken into a home and then fallen asleep on the sofa. All right. What the? Oh, dude. That's just freaking nuts right there. James says, drunk guy picked the wrong white and blue house on the block. His wife was on the phone with the other call taker trying to report her husband missing. LOL, just a theory. Maybe. That could happen. I don't know. I remember taking a phone call once from a lady who was freaked out because, just kind of like this, someone broke into her home. And I'm typing, getting everybody out there and stuff, trying to make sure that she's safe. And she's like, the guy is right here. He's on the couch. I can't see his face. And then I'm like, ma'am, get away from him. Like, just move, and she's like, he's just sleeping. And I was like, still, if he wakes up and freaks out, like, get out of there. So, trying to get them in a safe spot. Officers were almost there. And the dude ends up rolling over and she's like, oh my God. And she just starts swearing. It ended up, if I remember correctly, it was her brother-in-law. He was at the bar that was just down the road from where they lived. And he had had a couple too many. And he walked home and went into the house. And he was passed out on the couch, and she didn't know. If I remember correctly, she didn't know that he had already arrived and was in town. Her spouse didn't tell her or something like that. I'm trying to remember now because it was years and years ago. But she was so pissed, and she's yelling at him, and he's like, I'm sorry. What did I do? It's like, bro told me it was okay for me to come over here and sleep. But The horror, though, in her voice, like, I remember I was just typing, and just like, come on, get out there, you guys. I don't know what's going to happen with this dude who's just there, and she won't go to a different room. So, trying to get everything figured out and stuff. And then it went from, scream when he starts turning around and kind of making noises and stuff to a WTF and starts like yelling and swearing at him. She's like, you scared the shit out of me. I'm on the phone with 911 right now and police are coming here. They're coming here. And she's like, cancel them. They don't need to come here. And I was like, ma'am, they're already there. They just checked out on scene. And she's like, that's fine. We'll talk to them. It's fine. And I was like, okay, have a good night. She's like, yeah, you too. Oh man, it was one of the best ones. I'm just glad everybody was okay. And that, it ended up being a family member and not, really someone who had broken in like this article that I just read. I see James says, my brother Robbie and I crawled home from the Irish pub down the street from his first house in Delaware. Great memory. I bet. Let's see. Shannon says, serious question though. Are you going to the EPCO conference in Sandusky on April 10th? You might see me there. So thank you all so very much for joining me tonight for a late night open mic. This has been a lot of fun. We are over the hour now. It is always good to be here with all of you because, that's what open mic is all about. It is us coming together for about an hour or so, forgetting about the bullshit that's going on out in the world, sharing some funny stories. I'm excited too, Shannon. Sharing some funny stories, whether it be 911 related or just personal stories like some of the ones I shared in the beginning, and just laughing together. Because sometimes we just need to laugh and just be here together in support of each other. So thank you so very much. I hope your numbers have gone up. I don't remember if I said what my number was. I was like at an 8, 9 in the beginning, and I'm way over a 10 now. So I hope that all of you, your numbers went up as well, and that you had a good time here with me. And I will see you again next week for Open Mic Live. It's going to be an excellent time. But if you have any comments, questions, or you want to be a guest on the show for the flagship show or anything, you can email us, and that is going to be wttpodcast@gmail.com. Excuse me. The same if you have any funny 911 stories that you want to submit, you can email those as well. And I pointed that way right there, going down. Wait, nope. I keep going to the side. Everything's on the opposite from the camera, the way it's switched. Anyway, you can see it down there in the corner, the email address. That's what I'm trying to point at. So if you have any funny, even audio, 911 audio or anything, you can send it to me. And if there's anything in there that, would not be good going out live, like, names, addresses, nothing like that, because that's not at all what I want to put out, just the audio of the call. I will edit out all the stuff that needs to be edited out. Or if it's something that you want to suggest and I need to FOIA it, do that as well. And I will go ahead and FOIA it. So again, wttpodcast@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter. That is @91podcast. You can like us on Facebook. That is facebook.com/Within the Trenches Podcast. This live broadcast of Open Mic has been sponsored by InDigital, as well as Rapid Deploy and Carbine. And as always, a big shout out to patrons for everything. Thank you so very much. And if you want to be a patron and support us, you can head there to patreon.com/WTT Podcast. There is bonus material, there's swag, and there's all types of other things that you'll end up getting as well, just like this episode of Open Mic Live, as well as the Dispatchers Roundtable, which on March 30th, there is the Dispatchers Roundtable Round 28 is going to be coming up, and we're going to be doing an episode on location. So location is what we're going to be doing an episode on. So make sure to check us out for that as well. But a perk for patrons only are audio versions of the DRT, the Dispatchers Roundtable, as well as Open Mic Live. So this broadcast will be an audio version, and it'll go out to patrons. So make sure to check that out. Again, patreon.com/WTT Podcast. This live broadcast sponsored by InDigital, Rapid Deploy, and Carbine. And you can see this on Facebook, YouTube, as well as Twitter. And then for the flagship show, you can listen 24/7 on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, your favorite podcasting app, and withinthetrenches.net. And one final thing. You may have seen this going around. Myself and these three amazing, powerful women throwing up the number 4. But what is it for? What is it about? You'll find out soon. Soon enough. Have a good night, everyone. And I'll see you in the next one.